We really wanted to reduce our carbon footprint. So we looked at 3 different options: the wind power, the ground source heat pumps, and the photovoltaic panels. The wind power would have been an issue here with planning application. We believed that the ground source heat pumps were more suited for new properties. So at the end, we turned to photovoltaic panels. The advantages of the panels: there is no maintenance on it. The planning is not an issue, and with the feed-in tariff, the payback looked quite realistic. We contacted several companies to get quotes. Most of them were professional in their approach. Some of them were a little bit pushy, and it's not the way we like to do business. So eventually we found somebody local who seems to know what they were doing and were fairly relaxed. We could have put the panels on our main house, on the roof there, but we needed scaffolding. The roof is very high, and we were not very keen on having somebody walking all over it because it's an old roof. So eventually we turned to this outbuilding, which is southwest facing. I think it would have been better if it had been south facing, but we felt that from the forecast it was acceptable. So the company we chose came and did a survey. One of the issue was how to get the electricity from the main fuse board to this outbuilding. We had an existing line and we were hoping we could use it, but they felt it would be better to have a clean new line put in. We got estimates in February, and the maximum configuration we could go for without getting the electrical company involved into doing a survey and to get the best feed-in tariff was 4 kilowatt potential system. So we put £1,000 deposit down, and we were promised it would take 6 weeks to complete the job. The PV panels were manufactured in UK, so they were easy to get, but the inverter was manufactured in Germany, and it turned out to be a problem. There was a shortage, so we had to wait. Well, the inverter didn't turn up until May, but the installation company did phone us straight away when it arrived, and did start as soon as we could, and it took about 3 days to complete the job. The system consists of the panels, which produce direct or DC current, the inverter, which converts this into alternating or AC current. There are electrical isolators, trip fuses to protect people, and meters to record how much electricity has been produced. The system is doing what it's supposed to be doing according to the specification. We invested in a small remote monitor to be able to keep track of the current, daily, monthly and total output. But we are getting very patchy signals, so on a daily basis it's quite difficult to find out what's going on. The highest point we've been reading is 3.84 kilowatt instant. And on a sunny day in June, for instance, we've generated around 25 kilowatt hours. With, I think, the best so far at 28. On a typical sunny day, it's about 12 to 18 kilowatts, and on a rainy day, I'm afraid it can be as low as 3 kilowatt hours. Surprisingly, the hottest days are not necessarily the best. The bright, breezy days are best because the panels lose efficiency as they heat up. You also have to consider that the best time for generating is between 11 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that tells you a lot about which shadow area are important. The system cost £16,000 to install. I think in the last 3 months we have produced 1,600 hours, and we are getting 43 pence per kilowatt hour, so that's £688 so far. We've had our best 3 months. We don't know what the rest of the year is going to be, so we'll have to see. It's too early to say. There are a few things you need to consider when you invest into those panels. The first one is, how long are you going to be in your house? If you are going to be there only for a couple of years, you need to take that into consideration. The second is shadows. Because the way the panels are wired up, if you get shadows on one panel, it will affect the entire section. So do consider where the shadows are falling from trees, building, and chimneys. Don't think you are going to be energy independent. If you are connected to the grid and the power is cut off, your system is designed to shut down. You have to be careful when you consider different quotes. There are 3 types of PV panels. Each has a different efficiency rating. You must consider the condition of your roof. Do you really want people to be walking on it and drilling through it to install the frame of the panels? And what will happen if you have to change the tires when the panels are up? Do get a firm quote, including all electrical connections, scaffolding, and potential roof repairs prior to installing the panels. Make sure that your installer is MCS compliant. If they are not, you will not get the feed-in tariff and you might not be able to connect to the grid. And finally, do be prepared for quite a lot of paperwork, both to get connected to the grid and get the feed-in tariff from your electrical supplier. We had a little bit of an issue with the monitor because of the distance between where it was set and the panels. We have got a booster now which we've put halfway between the monitor and the inverter, and I can now, at the touch of a button, I can read straight away what I'm doing currently, what I've done today, and what I have produced over the last 6 months. We've produced 2,505 kilowatt hours. In the last 3 months, which is now more or less in the winter time, we have produced 740 kilowatt hours. So in total, in the last 6 months, we have earned £1,065, which is about halfway in a year, which is what we expected to earn. I think we are pleased. What we need is to make sure that we are going to get more sun to earn more money.